So Brandon Johnson, back in the news, this time going off on a reporter for using the term actually in the correct original way, but for some reason he didn't learn that in school. So maybe we can help educate the brother. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
Well, Chicago's Democratic Mayor Brandon Johnson snapping at a reporter who used the phrase illegal alien. Watch.
We don't have illegal aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from some sort of sci-fi message that you would have had. Well, listen, the legal term for my people were slaves. You want me to use that term too? So look, let's just get the language right. We're talking about undocumented individuals that are human beings. The last thing that I'm going to do is accept the type of racist, nasty language to describe human beings.
Washington Congresswoman and Squad member Pramila Jayapal rushed to Johnson's defense.
Undocumented presence in the United States is not a criminal offense.
Now you see how they switched the narrative. I'm not sure what that reporter asked. I wish they would have played what she asked. But I'm quite sure just by her saying the word, or that reporter saying the word alien, it gave him an out. It gave these people an out in order to change the argument to something else. You know, like, you know how you can be discussing or having a disagreement with somebody and y'all talking about how sweet a certain apple is, and then next thing you know, somehow the conversation goes to what the size the apple is, or if it has seeds in the middle, or something, something that ain't got nothing to do with the original argument. So Brandon Johnson is always trying to flip the narrative, not stay on topic, not answering the question directly, going around in circles. You know how when I think someone asked him about the police force, and they asked him if Donald Trump sent like 5,000 more policemen to patrol the streets, would it help make the streets safer? He was like, policemen can't do it alone. And the guy was saying, we know this. Okay, so let's say you had all the programs that you want, like affordable housing. I ain't saying nothing about affordable jobs. I mean, jobs paying better wages, but affordable housing, because even if you have affordable housing, man, poor is poor. Broke is broke. Nothing changes your situation. It's just that you got somewhere to stay for a little while until they kick you out and you keep moving around. If you can't increase your income, affordable housing means nothing. I live in an affordable house, but a lot of other people can't afford it, but I can afford it. You know why? Because I have an income that can sustain paying that the mortgage and the bills and stuff. So affordable housing to me is not the same as affordable housing. Somebody who's making $7.25 an hour, 14, 15, $20 an hour ain't the same. But anyway, it's all about how much money you make. But yeah, he would not answer the question directly. He just kept going all in circles, trying to go against what Donald Trump was saying, pretty much.
And so thank you for the clarification on language.
While Johnson was focusing on language, chaos was unfolding in his city. Agitators confronted ICE and Border Patrol agents several times, and officials say they were forced to use tear gas to disperse the crowds. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons addressed the dangers agents face on Saturday in America.
I think a lot of this is, we need to have common sense conversations, right? We need to have
that does look like them 1950s and 60s civil rights riots they had back in the day. That's not a good look.
Stop all the rhetoric. ICE is doing a law enforcement mission. That's what we are sworn to do, and that's what we are signed up to do. We don't want to be doxxed. We don't want our families threatened. We don't want assassination attempts like Brett pointed out. We're coming off a sniper attack in a major U.S. city where that lone sniper, that domestic terrorist, had an app that showed the location of ICE agents and officers that could be tracked. Yet they want to go ahead and demonize us, call us Nazis, call us Gestapos.
Yeah, and Kaylee, I haven't heard the mayor talk about the vernacular of demonizing ICE agents, but somehow he's fixated on the illegal alien phrase that is codified in our statutes.
Exactly. So his problem is nomenclature, language, wording of what we call illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, not what he and his governor have called ICE agents, who are heroic, who have found themselves under attack at that Dallas ICE facility where bullets rained down from someone who had an unequivocal motive to attack ICE. But his language concern is for the criminal illegal immigrant. What's amazing is Todd Lyons told me Saturday, hey, when I was in studio for Bret Baier, so too was Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. He said we were in the studio at the same time. And I said, did he know you were there? He said, no. He said, but I would have loved to just sit down and talk to him face to face. And you remember Bret Baier said to Governor Pritzker, would you go on a ride along with ICE? And he just kind of said, and I'm paraphrasing here, no, not interested, don't need that. And Todd Lyons said, I'd invite you and everyone to come with us to see what we're doing, to see the good work that we are doing. Take him up on that, Pritzker. You didn't get.
No, he wouldn't. He's not going to do it, because if he does it, he's afraid that he may see something positive in what he's doing. Because here's the thing. If you feel somebody's doing something wrong and they invite you to come along with them to see what they're doing, wouldn't that be a prime example, or prime time to jot down what you see and say, hey, record what you see, and then come back and say, hey, what I saw was despicable. It was deplorable the way they treated these people. Oh my gosh, we need to get these people out of this city immediately. But no, they don't want to do that because they're afraid that, like I say, you might see something that's actually positive, or something he had to agree with, and can't do that. On that Democratic Party.
To talk to him in the DC bureau at Fox News, go on a ride along, see what they're doing instead of sitting in the safety of your studio and running your mouth and talking about Nazis in comparisons to our federal law enforcement.
Yeah, he said, no, I don't need to. I see it on the internet. Tommy, you guys cover this on the Big Weekend Show too. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, you make a great point. It's the same way Democrats didn't want to cover the wide open border until they were all but forced to. Remember when our Fox News cameras and drones and Bill Malugin and others were down there covering the invasion, and the other Democrats and other mainstream media just wanted to look away. It's similar to them not wanting to go on the ICE ride along. Speaking about dehumanizing people, Nazis, Gestapo, that's what they call ICE agents. It's also what they call conservatives and President Trump, right?
And what's funny about that border, they say that they are barely getting 20 people a day trying to cross that border, compared to 20,000 when Biden was in office. Just think about that. 20 people compared to 20,000. But like I say, Trump is the bad guy. And I'm not, that man is doing some throwed off stuff sometimes. But some things he's getting right. And when somebody does something right, you call a spade a spade. You can't just, because you think about this. You don't agree with everything everybody do all the time. If you do something wrong with you, you are a sheep. You are somebody who probably follow a certain political party just because of the party, or you follow people just because they may be a certain skin tone, or maybe have a certain education, or live in a certain area. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Your loyalty doesn't go outside of that at all. And it becomes a fault, or because they probably part of your bloodline. They can't do no wrong when everybody else sees what's going on. Those type of people you can't be around, because the house could be burning down and they will still sit on their couch, watch TV, because somebody that they follow told them to do so. And it's the best thing. And it doesn't matter if it'll save their life. It's crazy.
So again, please get out your violin for the illegal aliens. I would also say this. If Mayor Brandon Johnson believes that illegal alien refers to a race, that's actually the racist part of this equation. Mm-hmm. Because illegal alien is a category and a classification based on a voluntary action, not a skin color. So if you associate illegal alien with black or brown people, that's a you problem, Mayor.
But you know why he does that? Because like the word race, racism, the explosive wording on the left also includes slavery, the Holocaust. There's some words that they're hoping to trigger people with to get them on their side. So if one isn't working, they're going to use the next one.
I believe that. And she got a hell of a silk press. Like, seriously. But yeah, I believe that. They use trigger words. They want people to get upset and get riled up by using certain words and terms that they know will get tug at the heartstrings, especially black folks. Racism, slavery, stuff like that. It's like you're putting together two things that don't match. Illegal aliens and slaves shouldn't even be in the same sentence, because one came voluntarily, the other one came or became slaves involuntarily.
By the way, Alien is in the Constitution.
Mhm.
And it simply means it's a legal term for a person who is not a citizen or national of the United States. To say illegal alien, according to this following, would be redundant. But alien is in there. So when you say illegal alien, you're basically saying an illegal, which is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and it's codified in the statutes. You know, I'm reminded of a friend of mine who took the LSATs, and there was a question there about aliens, and she thought the whole question was about like Martian aliens.
Oh, goodness.
Needless to say, she didn't do well and didn't go to law school. But the whole
Oh.
point is,
Probably for the best.
don't dabble in nomenclature if you're not prepared and understand what the legal ramifications are.
Is she in Congress now by any chance?
Oh, my goodness.
Because it could be Camilla Jayapal, and a quick fact check on her. It actually is an unlawful criminal act to cross the border illegally, just to point that out. I am very confused on this slavery point that the mayor brought up. He said, the legal term for my people were slaves. Do you want me to use that term too?
It
What?
wouldn't apply.
What? Like,
I gotta say, don't give them a reason. Now, Brandon Johnson said that, used that phrase, and now you're giving them folk a reason to make themselves look innocent of all charges with anything has something to do with slavery in the past or supremacy or, you know, white supremacy now, racial wealth gap now. They try to speak as though, you know, it's your fault, Brandon Johnson, that, you know, you keep bringing this stuff up, and what does slavery got to do with this? And it's this, that, and the third, you know. So now making Brandon Johnson look like the bad guy which he is, but on a whole different term and level that they shouldn't be using. And that's what's troubling. Just like with what's her name? Good Lord. Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, she, to me personally, I would say she's disappointing in the stances that she take. I mean, I look at this woman, grew up in a two-parent household. Wasn't her daddy like either a teacher, a preacher, or something like that? Anyway, educated parents, lived in a well-to-do neighborhood. We'll say middle class. I grew up in a middle-class house, my damn self. But, you know, but not like that. That's like, she was like probably upper middle class, like for sure. But anyway, grew up in a middle-class house at least, went to private schools, college, you know, prestigious colleges, went to law school in Texas, became a lawyer. Matter of fact, the woman's places she took on the council, on the Congress seat, dang, I don't know, was it Ernie Bernice Johnson or Barbara Jordan? One of the other. They chose her to take their place because of the way she carried herself and the credentials that she had. And you fast forward to Donald Trump running for president. Now she's ghetto as all outdoors, and yet doesn't do anything that publicly for the black people in her district. She's not doing nothing like Thurgood Marshall, because I'm sitting here thinking like she should be out there trying to pass laws for us. You know, try to get, you know, equal, make sure we maintain equal rights with everybody else. That's what I feel she should be stomping for. If she did that, it's a good chance she could become like a Democratic candidate for president or what have you. She probably could have been vice president before Kamala Harris did. But that's not what she's stomping on. She's stomping on LMNOP community, stomping on illegal aliens. But when it comes to us, it's almost like, but then she got the nerve to say that she wasn't going to sign to a vote to keep the government open because President Trump wasn't doing anything for the black people in her community. And I'm like, what? I'm like, wait a minute, what? What did you want him to do? Because I haven't heard you say anything about what you want him. I haven't heard you stomp for anything that you wanted him to do for us. I haven't. Like I say, LMNOP and illegal aliens is all I'm hearing. All I've been hearing for the last couple of years. So what is she talking about? You hear what I'm saying? But like I say, it's what she talks about, the way she carries herself now. Like I say, it's just to me, it's just embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? And I know she's qualified to do what she needs to do, but just the way she puts herself out, she should not do that. But again, Then when Donald Trump comes out and talks about her, and you know how we feel, I know how my people feel when you talk about a black woman or especially a black woman. Good Lord, you talk about a black woman, you talk about a sister, man. You know what I'm saying? The hell from heaven's gonna come down on you. Fire and brimstone will come down on you. Do something like that. But the problem is, she gave them a reason. And you might not say they don't have the right. I don't give a dog if they got the right or not. You're missing the point. Don't give them a reason to feel comfortable doing what they're about to what they're going to do or what they're doing towards you, because you know there's a dang on good chance of what they say about you is going to be racially motivated, race based. You know this. So why do something to perpetuate that and allow it to happen? Just be yourself. And I don't think she is being herself. Just be yourself and let them make them respect you. Not fear you or not look down at you or look at you like a clown. You make them respect you one way or another. Hell, that's what men gotta do. That's what men do with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, we just try to get respect from each other and to each other, and we've gone about our business. That's how things happen. That's how you become successful and stuff. When you know how to treat people and how to make people treat you without being a clown show.
We do call people who were enslaved slaves. It's not a derogatory term. It's not a defense of the evil institution.
Matter of fact, white folks are trying to not say the word slave no more. They're trying to say indentured workers or free laborers or something like that. Unpaid workers or something. They're trying to take slavery out of the school books. I mean, if you want to be real about it.
But to my knowledge, there isn't some new politically correct term for slaves. They were slaves who were enslaved against their will, Tommy, to your point, whereas illegal immigrants willfully engage in unlawful activity, coming to this country or staying in this country against our laws. That is such a morally bereft comparison, but it's what he goes to instantly to try to shut down a conversation that they're losing, by the way. They're losing this discussion. They want to decriminalize illegal immigration. The American people were fed up with it. And to say, oh yeah, to say illegal alien or illegal immigrant is somehow akin to slavery or that terminology is just insulting. But no one believes that.
If they cared that much, Guy and Emily, don't you think that they would have wanted to close the border? Do you know what was slavery in this country? What was happening to those young girls and women, the sex trafficking, turning them into sex slaves? That's a real thing. But I never heard it until it was political fire back at the other side.
Yep. Yeah. Always hypocrisy on the left.
Let's look at Brandon Johnson. So he's just a clown. Shouldn't be in political office, and hopefully the citizens of Chicago will get enough sense to vote him out in a couple of years or what have you, because that dude, here's a problem as, like I said, Foundation of Black American that I have, and take it how you want it. I want to see more of my people stomping for my people. And I mean hard, like they stomping for everybody else. I mean, you could say, because here's the thing, you got to look at life like this. The folks that's in power, we look at them like, tyrants and evil and selfish, because they have a certain level of power. And when they feel just a smidgen of it is about to be lost, they jump on it and stop that change. And it's like, we look at them like, dang, they won't even let us have just a crumb, because they know what they've done and they'll fear that we will do the same thing to them. But we ain't that type of people. You know what I'm saying? We always been a loving, people that embraces everybody, who wants everybody to have a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to sit there and just control it all with just a couple of people and everybody else be poor. For the most part. Now unless we in that system to where they tell us and show us and teach us how to do that. But other than that, the people in this country, we ain't like that. But I want to see wish people like Brandon Johnson, like it would stomp for us more. Or Al Green down in Texas. Ain't he about to get out of office, I think? And who else? Fonnie Willis, Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett, and the list goes on and on. That your number one goal is to make sure that your people are taken care of, benefits maximized before you stomp for everybody else. Don't mean you got to leave them out. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody got multiple causes. I get it, but your number one cause should be your people because everybody else does that. Everybody else's cause is for their people first. Then, if you want to come help, but we were like that. I think back in the '60s, in the civil rights days, but then somehow got infiltrated by the others and say it means to help everybody else and help other people because they're going through the same thing you're going through. We're like, you know what? You're right. Let's all get together. But then once you get together and they pass these laws, all of a sudden we get thrown by the wayside and they get those personalized laws. But when we try to get personalized laws, it's like, oh, no, 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 no. You got the Civil Rights Act. That's enough. And it's not. I mean, when are we going to learn? When are we going to learn? But anyway, back to Brandon Johnson real quick. I want to give y'all a definition of what an alien is. Because like old boy, they said on this Fox News channel, that an alien ain't got nothing to do with outer space. You know what I'm saying? At all. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can chat GPT a definition for you. It said, here's a breakdown by origin, meaning, and evolution of the word alien. Number one, the word alien comes from the Latin word alienus, which means belonging to another, foreign, or of another person or place. It's derived from alias, meaning other. Nothing but this says outer space. So originally, alienus didn't mean a being from outer, good Lord, a being from outer space. It just referred to something or someone that was not one's own. Example, terra aliena, someone else's land. Homo alienus, a foreigner or stranger. 2. Medieval and early English use. The term entered Old French as alien and then Middle English around the 14th century. In medieval law, an alien meant a non-citizen or foreigner, someone who owned allegiance to a different sovereign or kingdom. Is that not what these folks are that came over here when they be out there protesting and they be waving the flags of the country that they're from? They will be considered alien. I mean, like I say, nothing derogatory, no shade. That's just the definition that, the good God-fearing Christian white folk gave you back since the beginning. Example, an alien may not own land within this realm. This usage appears in English legal documents as early as the 1300s. This legal meaning carries over into American law. U.S. immigration and nationality status still uses alien to mean a person who is not a citizen or national of the United States. That's crazy. Modern science fiction use, the space alien meaning emerged in the early 20th century around the rise of pulp science fiction magazines like Amazing Stories 1920. So Brandon Johnson, using his infinite wisdom, taking a term that's barely 100 years old and trying to circumvent the term that's came about 600 years before that we know of. I mean, I'm just saying. Well, in the English language, 1300s. Writers borrowed the old sense of alien equal foreigner and applied it to foreign beings from another world. Example, 1902, the alien creatures of Mars. 1902, the alien creatures of Mars. Early sci-fi writing influenced by H.G. Wells in The War of the Worlds. Modern connotations. Today, alien has two major meanings. 1, legal, political, a non-citizen or immigrant. 2, scientific, pop culture. A being from outer space. The term can sound harsh or outdated in the immigration context. So many laws and agencies now prefer non-citizen, foreign national, or immigrant. Understand. So, what it say? Time period, ancient Rome, alienus is Latin, belonging to another or foreign. 14th century, Middle English, foreigner / non-citizen. 18th to 19th century, legal English, person not a subject or a citizen. 20th century, science fiction, extraterrestrial being. So, Brandon Johnson. God, I thought you was an educator. What are you like? What is he like, a kindergarten teacher, a 6th grade teacher, something like that? That you should have read in your history books where the term alien comes from. It's not derogatory. Now the N-word is It can be derogatory. You know, I don't see, you stomping for that. Again, I don't, you're talking about slavery, but that had nothing to do with the price of tea in China when it comes to this topic of argument that you put yourself in. You're just trying to find a reason not to talk about the subject at hand. And that's that you had a bunch of illegal aliens come in, take millions of dollars from Chicago, and that helped y'all become broke and over budget and in a debt that you probably won't get out no time soon because you believe that Joe Biden was going to keep sending you money for these people, and then them something gonna stop. But he dared you to talk against the Democratic Party. Go figure. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about this story. And leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and love, and I'll see you on the other side.